This first one's called Spooky Wolf Ambience. You're doing that dust mouth, cracker whistle thing again, and no one is down to ride. To ride dirty, to ride at all, really. There's a moment every so many seconds when one of us will mutter something and chuckle. And then I'm left to wonder, scooter left at the curb, unattended, idly. Our soup taking longer, Paul McCartney's sunburn called, left you a video message. Oh, I'm sorry, it was only Peter Cetera's Bauhaus t-shirt, fading like a jazz flute solo over a pitcher of top-shelf margaritas. A flaw considered a blessing by some, mainly in the past and the future. Feel free to swing by if you find your sandals start to itch. A nagging burn between painfully splayed toes. Fancy, fancy colors they keep singing, and I wonder, where's that from? I hardly ever wonder if you're still dying, because, let's be honest, now you're humming and whistling a Frank Zappa guitar solo through your nose, shaking your long hair around like Joe Cocker live on stage in 1970, high on PCP, and an exaggerated lack of sleep. Not to mention Rita Coolidge's saliva, which was 2 parts per 1,000, pure cocaine, methamphetamine, STP, LSD, NRG. Your lips now make a buzzing sound and your nostrils flare like a trumpet. No one wants your sad, leftover sandwich, wrap sandwich. I keep telling you. Particularly after you left such obvious teeth marks all over it, bite marks, like laying partial claims to every potential fuck buddy at the party. Like you wanted it to know who was boss. When clearly you never came wrapped in wax paper, but perhaps I'm speaking out of turn, out of a lack of anything really urgent or important to say to you, despite looking into your eyes and knowing maybe you have been wrapped up in a waxy whirlwind of questions and doubts, coming or going, or both, or neither, or whatever. Thanks. This is called Dark Magic / A Solitude by Duke. I don't know how much longer I can do this, how I can keep making this old thing new again, again and again, and new again and yet again, one more time, and then. The piano solo spells out pain, 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 pain. And I know that song, because I sing that song. I've sung it for so many years, it feels real, like a tattoo that doesn't fade, a promise that will never break, that same sad look on your face. And no matter how much whiskey or wine or vodka or beer or regret or whatever, till it's all just back there with the rest of it, the old tunes, the sad times, the hard times, the lost love, gained, then lost again. They are still with me. They still remain. A rocket re-enters the atmosphere, skin heated to glowing, to burning, to shifting form, then disintegrating. No longer integrating. 0 attempts at integration. Attempts at entry sped toward destruction. An inexplicable, ongoing separation. What I mistook for necessary isolation. Punishing and punishing and punishing and punishing. Necessary removal for misbehavior. Failed attempts at relaxation, no longer allowed out among the living, the others, the necessary others. The piano raises its voice. The piano insists. The keys singing out. The piano pounds its own heart into bits. pounds, pounds, pounds into tidbits of the sweetest bites. I don't know what I'm doing here anymore. Did I ever? No, never ever, they always told me, always said with tandem shaking heads. Nope, not this time. I mean, it's great that you think so, but no. Still standing in 25-year-old shadows all these years later, my feet in concrete up to my knees. Trying to make credible excuses, explanations of cake and processed grain, the stuff that's killing me, it's truly killing me. Pouring out, puffing out of an open hole, an open mouth. How do I keep remembering how to do it wrong? Sleepwalking toward my own demise, I stopped to buy cigarettes. Shaping a love affair into my decline, then into a love affair with an imagined memory. Afraid to know, afraid to let go, to allow it all to simply burn away. The piano now saying, oh, for heaven's sake, everything old is still around and it's not doing anyone any good, anyhow. Let's see, I think I just have one or two more, if that's okay. This one's called, Rick Says, Planetary Inner Space. Crush tanzanite with opal, get yourself a peach, a pearl, an earl of subject car hacks left abandoned at the bottom. Head back toward an island, swim back toward the island, the shore, the tiny pebbles, the sand, the shushing tide, the inlet, the inherent summer sublet, the low moan of sex, audible yet, through the thin walls, summer windows flung wide, the smell of sweet smoke, the funk of daily action, sweat and coffee brewing, flushed cheeks, worn down smiles, wrinkled shirts and uncombed hair. Crush it, grind it down, a rhythm naturally arrived at, naturally found, a music, a combination of voices, talking, singing, screwing, screaming, and cartoon renderings of terror, the highway, nearby the car horns adding their 2 cents, distant. Crush the powder planet, grind it down to coal dusters, shit disturbers, all of us. Render us in tiny increments, diamond fistfuls, rocks and oil dust, honked into mid-morning existence. High frequency feedback in the curving mystery of your inner ear. Alright, so one more little one for you, and then I'm done. This is called Bedtime Story. Roving sea gangsters rusted with other men's blood, seaworthy with scurvy, drunken ships barely, the smell of sea hair burning, hungry still in the eyes, in his eyes. My father telling tales, my small brother and I nearly on the shifting deck, 2 of the hands aboard. Whole unholy horde conscripted, a page flips, wind whipped, a vessel for swine, horses, or less, he continues. Transgressive transport. Men's mouths hung like another man's scarf on the star-scarred neck of the night. A forced retreat, a mere distance of pages. The nightmarish moon may be abandoned at sea.